Where are you going? Thank you for recording this. I don't know whose computer is going to be on. Where are you going? I'm going. Yeah, but where are you going? I'm going where? Where are we going? I'm going. I'm going. Yeah, but where? No, I'm going. Yeah, but where are you going? Where are you going? So the first thing you got to know is, where are you going? Like Trisha's driving right now. Trisha, where are you going? We have to be really, really clear. So the next phase of our business that we're going is FIBC, right? Isn't that the next place that we're going? And then some of us got our mindset on global, don't we? And some of us have our mindset on integrated global or integrated presidential. Yeah, but those are just titles. What do those titles represent for you? Like global, I didn't care about reaching global. You guys see this right here? I didn't care about reaching global. What I did care about, though, was creating a life in which I didn't have to rely on my wife's income anymore. It just so happens that Optavia called that global. But I didn't care about global. I don't care about global director. What I did care about, though, was having certain aspects of my life being free. What I did care about was being able to design and control my own days. What I did care about is never having to wear a suit again. What I did care about is not having to wake up to an alarm clock. What I did care about was being the author and the creator of my own story. What I did care about was advancing in my life. It just so happened that Optavia called that global. So where are you going? Where are you going? Because the mind shift is, I am going. And I need people, I will write this down. I need people, but I do not need any one person. I need people, but I don't need any one person. Now, I love everyone, but I don't need you. I'm telling you guys, this is the mindset. Oh, you want to come today? That's fine, but I don't need you. Why? Because I'm going. And because I'm going, people are going to want to come with me. So I tell you guys some things, because I said that basically we have, some of you guys are ED1s. Right here, I was an ED1, wasn't I? I was executive director with one senior coach line of business. You guys see that? Here, I was an ED3. Some of you guys are ED2s. You're executive director with 2 senior coach lines of business. Some of you guys are executive director with 3 senior coach lines of business. Some of you guys, holy cow, are executive director with 4 senior coach lines of business. You can go you are going to go FIBC this month. Some of you guys are executive director with 3 senior coach lines of business. You're going to go FIBC this month. Some of you guys are executive directors with 2 senior coach lines of business. You're going to go FIBC over the next couple months. So you say, well, Jamil, how do you know that? Well, because here, first thing I want to show you on this, I want to show you how to build your business. Okay. First thing that people do when they build their business is they place personal volume orders within the first week of the month. Okay, I'm just telling you. Now, I just want to help. That's all I'm here for. But if you want to build a strong organization, it is about leadership and it's about doing things first. When I talked to Dr. A, I said, why was it so important for you to reach the highest level of this company first? And he says, because it's about leadership. It was important for me to be integrated presidential director first so that I can lead the rest of my organization. You guys are the heads of your organization, so it's important for you to lead from the front. So first thing is personal volume orders. Now, Amanda and I order at least $500 every month from my coach, Becky. You decide what is good for you, but I'm giving you some of the answers right now. You can see that I was a knucklehead my first couple months. I did not place these orders. This month, I sent my food back. Why? Because I was mad at my coaches. I had very, very low emotional intelligence. This month, I just quit altogether. I still order food, but I ordered it underneath like my wife's name or dog's name, completely out of integrity. Then when I came back and made the decision that I really want to be a part of this, I want to impact people's lives, I want to help people get healthy, and I want to build an organization that's going to be a tremendous asset in my life and in my finances, then I started doing things the right way. So first thing first is always place your personal volume orders within when? When do we place these orders? For those of you guys that want a successful organization, when do we place these orders? Put it in the chat. Now, next is you're going to see me building a funnel of clients. And what I've been teaching you is this client volume, we call it frontline qualifying volume, needs to be filled by at least $1,200 a month. And so you'll see it you'll see it getting bigger and bigger and bigger, from 6,000 to 7,200 to 8,400 to 9,600 to 10,800 to 12,000 to 13,600 to 14,000 to 15,600. 15,500 is a really sweet spot in your business. But you can see it building. You guys can see this building, right? It's like being in an opera where the singer is starting low and building until this climax, boom. Climax is 15.5. This is where you want to be. You guys see that? You see this slow build and then boom. Okay. Now here, the shifts were, I had one senior coach line of business, but I didn't know, my focus was off. My focus was just on clients. I needed to realize that I was a business coach and to start sponsoring. And once I started doing that, you see the senior coach lines of business start to grow from ED1 to ED3 to ED8, and then ED13. So why I'm so excited about this incentive trip is what they're giving us 6 months to do, a lot of us, you see it can be done in less than 2 months. And that's why it's so exciting. So let me stop this really fast, and then let me go to you guys. So what do you guys see from that? What do you take away from that image, from that screenshot right there? Just raise your hand on the screen. All right, we got Stacy.
So for me, every time I see that, I mean, that huge jump right there just tells me that Jamil got off his butt. If I'm being honest, right? You saw where you were going and then you just hit the gas all the way. And you just started knocking it out. And that's exactly what I need to do, is just put my foot on the gas and not let it up, because I have a habit of letting it up. So you just hit the gas and you kept it there.
Yeah, I love that. I had my gas on client acquisition those first probably 8 months. And then I put my gas on coach acquisition. Remember, there's only 4 parts of our business. We acquire clients, we support clients, we acquire coaches, we support coaches. What we need to ask ourselves is, where is the majority of my energy going? Is it acquiring clients? Is it supporting clients? Is it acquiring coaches? Is it supporting coaches? Truth in the matter is, our energy wants to be evenly distributed with a huge focus on these last 2. I acquire coaches, I support coaches. There's no way we can get to 15, 16, 17, 18 volume without having our foot on the gas to acquire those clients, right? What we also need to do now is become bigger and acquire clients, but acquire coaches at the same time. And that usually is where the mix up, and it's difficult for a lot of coaches. Okay, so this is where the breakthrough is going to come, to where I acquire clients because I'm in structure. Cruz is making a happy, that looks beautiful, buddy. Because I'm in structure and my calendar is telling me what to do. So for example, you guys, I'll know how successful your business is going to be if I spend a day with you. I'll know how successful your business is going to be if I looked at your calendar. Your calendar is going to let me know how successful your business is. Your calendar is going to let me know if you're focused on client acquisition, and your calendar is going to let me know if you had this mindset shift. And if I spend a day with you and I look at your priorities, your success is going to come in your priorities. And so what started to happen was, I not only put my foot on the gas with client acquisition, but I started shifting some things around in my life too. In order to elevate, you're going to have to separate. And before, I wasn't separating from things. I still wanted to watch the Monday Night Football every Monday night. I still wanted to watch college football all day long on Saturday. I still wanted to go to birthday parties that's not going to get me to my goal. I still want to hang out the same. You see what I'm saying? In order for you to elevate in a different success level in your business and in life, you will have to leave things behind. And that's a big part of this, because a lot of times we don't want to do that. And in order to make room for something that's greater, watch this, we have to drop something that's lesser. And a lot of us love this feeling of being busy. Let me just say this again. A lot of us love this feeling of being busy, but there's a big difference between being successful and being busy. I would much rather be successful, drop stuff that's not going to help me get to my destination, so that I can now start to have the organization, the impact, and the income that I really, really, really want. And I'm telling you, that right now at this level is what trips up a lot of people. And I'm telling you, June is one of those months. I told you, this is a month that separates coaches, because there's a lot of freaking distractions in June. And the distractions usually are not things that's going to allow you to have the impact and the freedom and eventually an income that most people would enjoy, so that we can go out there and really shake things up in this world. Does that make sense? Big mindset shift, man. It's not stuff that they teach in like 10th grade or something like that. You have to really be in structure and really be focused. And this is what I'm doing. Let's go to Terry. Terry got to come off mute, sweetie.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Oh, okay. When I see that slide, I think that what I see is that you made the 100% decision to go all in. And also, I would say lean in to your mentorship as much as you didn't want to early on, because I truly believe that without the mentorship, without the support, without these trainings, forget it. You can't do it alone.
Yeah, I love that. Anyone else want to share what you see when you analyze those first few months of my business? All right, let's go to Coach Mel B. Sound like a hip hop name.
That's a Spice Girls name. What I was looking at is that it is like exactly what you said. It's that you need to learn, or I need to learn how to focus on both clients acquisition and coach acquisition at the same time. It can't be all energy in one and no energy on the other. So just learning to awaken my clients better, awaken my coaches better. I've been trying to send daily messages in my coach chat, just like things that I think that will help them so that they don't feel paralyzed like they sometimes do. So just kind of really learning to look, at what I need to do as a business coach to help them so that they can, have those people asking, and so that we can set up those calls so that they can, bring on clients.
Love it. Let's go to Kyra. Thank you for that. Kyra, let's try that again.
Go for it. Can you hear me?
Yep, got you now.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I just think that anything is possible. You just can't quit. You have to keep moving forward, get out of your head and dive in and do it consistently.
Love that. Thank you. Sylvia Wynn.
So you clearly, you said you had low emotional intelligence. So then you spent some time with personal development in order to raise your numbers. You knew that you had to do some things personally in order to be able to do that. Is that what you did?
That was certainly part of it. That was certainly part of it. So if we look at this again, the emotional intelligence was raising, but still not very strong at this part. I was still mentally, I wasn't mentally, this didn't require a ton of emotional intelligence. And really the strength mentally didn't start coming until the next segment, building from global to presidential. But for right here, the mindset shift was, here's the deal. And I hope that this is bringing you guys value. A lot of the stuff that you get in this business, you're going to get from doing it. For example, I saw in the chat, we said, I want to learn how to work with coaches better. Then you got to start bringing on a lot of coaches. You got to actually start working with them. It says, I want to learn, the emotional intelligent piece. Well, you got to work with a lot more people. Like if you want to speed up anything in this business, you actually learn it by doing it. So how I got really good with mentoring coaches wasn't necessarily just listening to my coaches do calls. It was working with 36 coaches in 2.5 months while I still ran 15,000 in frontline qualifying volume. And I promise you, if you work with that many coaches, you're going to learn a lot faster than just being on some practice calls, because you're going to screw up a lot, right? So I think sometimes we want to understand how marriage works before we even ask the girl out. And what we got to get really good at is asking a lot of people out to find that person that we can marry. And then once we get married, let's figure out how to be married. But let's not worry about being married until at least we start dating. Does this make sense? Am I speaking too oddly or something? So we got to get to a point to where we freaking start dating a lot of people. In my mind, I'm thinking, is that a dumb illustration or does that make sense? It might be a dumb illustration. Okay, real fast, let's go to Juanita because I want her to talk about earlier this week, we set up a training for her. She wanted to work through some things, and I think she had a little bit of a breakthrough with working with some of her coaches. And then I know that she implemented it and it looks like some of the stuff works. So Juanita, can you just tell us about that experience? And then I want to go through some slides and then answer some questions. And hopefully today it's brought you guys some value. Juanita.
Good morning, everyone. So starting to coach well, we actually went through some of those steps, and yeah, I actually was missing a few steps. So actually, once we put it all together, it was like an aha moment. So first thing is just having a solid coach explore, and some of these things we've already actually talked about in the first 6 weeks. But once you've had that solid coach explore, it's just to walk your new coach through buying their business kit, and you've gotten a business kit. In the first 24 to 48 hours, you want to make sure that you set up your meet and greet with your support team, your mentor, and get that set up right away. And one thing I also learned is that they want to come to the meet and greet with 3 things already with them. So they want to make sure they have their names. So that's their 10 names. They can have more, but they want to have a minimum of the 10 names. They also want to have their business goals, because we want to know what it is they want to create, because your support team is going to tell them how we're going to do that, because they're going to get to know them. And then they also want to have started some points on their story. So they want to come to the meeting with those 3 things. So once you get in the meeting, you want to make sure to edify your business mentor. So you want your new coach to know, the person that you're bringing in here is wonderful and great at launching new coaches. And then you're going to introduce your new coach to your business coach. And we know that. So once you get started, you then turn it over to your business coach, and they're going to then kind of just get to know and see what your new coach is wanting to create. But they're going to kind of walk through that. And we, of course, put ourselves on mute, and they're just going to get to know them and bring out all the great and wonderful things, and, help them to dream big and see, what made them or what inspired them to want to coach, and, just kind of go through that part of it. And once all of that is done, they're going to slip away and drop off, and then it's just you. But before they leave, they're also going to edify you. And that's something also I learned. But once they edify you, you're there then with your new coach and the 3 things that you've asked them to bring. So you're going to start with your list, and you're going to have them put them in a category. So once that's set up, you're going to have them put a 1, 2, or 3. So your first one is those that maybe they've already had a conversation with, or maybe someone who's already asked about their journey and wanting to know more information, and they're going to be in your 1s. And then your 2s are those maybe that could use program, and maybe they're already on their heart, and they could go in the 2 category. And then you got those 3s. I always say those people or maybe your family, they love you and they'll do a practice call, just you asking because they want you to win. And the goal in all of this, we want to posture all of this because we set the pace, and we want to get them some wins under their belt because they're already excited. They want to get started, and we have this window of opportunity. So we don't want to wait. We don't want to wait a week and just give them a few things to do and leave them to go. We want to get started. And, I always kept thinking, this is their business. You give them a few things to do and you let them go. Well, doing this actually just gets them into structure. At first, it took me back to being a principal and kind of supervising teachers. And at one point I was just like, okay, this kind of feels like the same. Well, one thing I learned was that they actually needed this, because at the end of the day, the coach that I was working with, she actually sent me messages every single day of how appreciative she was. So I was like, well, maybe this actually works. So we got it all set up. So once they get all of that done, you say, okay, let's look at our ones, because that's the first group. And these are the people we want to start with, because they've already asked and they want to know more. And you're going to send them the message right there. You're on the Zoom with them. So send them that message and say, let's send that message out to them. Do you want me to send this right now? Yes. So you just wait. They're going to send that message. So you're there and you're going to make a list of who they're sending them to. So it keeps you, you have the list of who they're sending them to. They have the list of who they're sending them to as well. See, I didn't do that. So everybody has the list. So we're keeping that list together, and you're waiting for them to send the list out. So now they've sent that list out to whatever, how many ones they have. Maybe it's 5 people, 2 people, whatever. So they have the list sent out. So now how many 2s do we have? 3? Okay. So what are we going to send them? Hold on. I'll send you the message to send them. So you send over the message to send the 2s. Now let's send that out. And you wait while they send out the 2s. And we get the names down of who they sent them out to. And you just wait, because they're now sending those messages out. All the messages out? Great, wonderful. Now let's send them out to the 3s. And what do we send them? We got a different message. And you shoot over that message and you wait while they send them out to the 3s. And we do all of that on the call. So all those messages, they go out. So everything is done. We don't let them off. That's that window of opportunity. And we're posturing because we want them to have some wins under their belt. And when they start responding, so we're going to also set the pace, because we're going to say, when do we going to have those practice calls done? So if it's a Monday or whenever you get them started, so let's say, okay, by Friday, we're going to have, so you want to set an expectation. We're going to have them all done. Okay. So you're kind of setting it in the future. So we kind of already know we're going to have them all done. So if in 24, 48 hours, you're going to check in, because you have the list as well. So did Jamil check in? You want to check off who's checked in and get responses on, have you heard from this person? Have you heard from this person? Because you have the list as well. So you're just kind of confirming. And actually what I found was she was actually updating me, because she knew I had the list as well. So I could check off who said, yes, this person is out of town. Mom's in a hospital. Okay, next person. So it's like we were going back and forth. She knew what the expectation was. So we were going back and forth, and we got them set up. And it was like, wow, it just was so much easier. Why was I making this hard? I don't know. But it was just so much easier to do. And we got them all done. So, and it's kind of like just rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. You get them all done. You set the expectation, and boom, there you go. So a couple of things I did not mention is you do also want to set up your support thread, and that comes after you've done the business kit. You want to make sure that you have your support thread set up with your support team, whoever is in that, and you want to make sure that because they want to also give advice. And want to make sure any other notes. Yeah. So you just want to make sure that you posture everything. And because we set the expectation and not leave them out, I always say loosey goosey. And that's, even though it's their business, they're going to follow what you do. And when you do that, you're setting the structure and the pace. So when they bring on their new coach, that's exactly what's going to happen, because they now know what it is to do. So that's what I have for you. I don't know if I left anything out, Jamil. You could probably. Thank
I
you.
think that was great. You guys give Juanita a round of applause. You know, this business is just about shifts. It's about shifts. It's about doing stuff over and over again and then saying, oh my gosh, like, I get it. I get it. If I don't posture well, and if I don't set the course, if I don't set the pace, then they probably are not going to do much. If I don't say like, hey, next Monday, we're going to do your social media launch, which means is over these next 4 days, let's knock out about 5 or 6 calls. How do you feel about that? And I actually want to have that conversation. You feel good emotionally, you feel good, you scared. And I'm picking up on this stuff. It's soft skills. And if there's some weirdness going, I'm gonna say, hey, let's talk about it. Okay. Like, this is how you want to get off to a fast start with a coach. Does this make sense? Like, it's really important. Posturing is everything. But before we do that, we have to know what it is that they want. So let's jump into this a little bit more. Was that helpful, you guys? Was that helpful? Juanita in the house. Okay, so let's talk about this really fast. And we're going to kind of like breeze through, well, at least that's my intentions, but you guys know how your boy gets sometimes. But to go FIBC, it's about mindset. Terry, once your mindset is at FIBC, you'll become FIBC. Once in your mind, you're like, oh, I'm a global. You're going to go global. Once in your mind, you're like, I'm a freaking millionaire. You're going to be a millionaire. What is going to show up in your life is what you think about the most. I write that down. What's going to show up in your life and in your business is what you think about the most. So if you think about scarcity, that is what you're going to see. If you think about poverty, that's what you're going to think or see. If you think stress, you're going to get stress. If you think abundance, you're going to get abundance. Okay? If you think God, you're going to see God in all things. If you think coaches, you will not be able to go throughout the day without seeing everybody as a what? Coach. You're going to wake up in the morning and be like, man, I don't even want to talk about Optavia today. And as soon as you step outside the door, somebody's going to say, hey, Sylvia, how you doing? You can say, I'm doing great. How you doing? And they're going to say, oh my gosh, I'm so exhausted. I just got out of the doctor's office and gosh, my boss is yelling at me. And you're going to say, man, I didn't even want to talk about this stuff today. And all you're going to see is coaches. Okay. So here's the mindset. Everybody's a coach. Every single person's a coach. Yeah, but that person's really successful. It doesn't matter. They're a coach. Yeah, but that person's a principal like Juanita. It doesn't matter. They're a coach. Yeah, well, that person's like a professional athlete. Doesn't matter. They are a coach. You will start to see how coaching can benefit every single person. So when you talk about this shift that's right here, that's one of the shifts. Oh my gosh. Everyone's a what? Coach. And when you start seeing that and believing that and thinking that, it's going to show up. The other mindset is I'm going. I am going. I made the decision where you saw that mindset shift that I'm going global. And because my mindset was on going global, it wasn't just on getting 5 senior coach lines of business. That's why you see me jump from 3 to 8. Why? Because FIBC wasn't on my mind. Global was on my mind. Now, if FIBC was on my mind, that back then they didn't even have a FIBC. That's probably why I wasn't thinking about it. There was no FIBC. It was like executive director. Then the next big step was global. That's why we had those big jumps. But Optavia and life will limit you. And that's why I said we always do more than what's expected, because if Optavia says, hey, Kyra gets 6,000 in FQV, most people are going to be right around 6,000 in FQV. And if Optavia says 5 senior coach lines of business, most people are going to stay right around 5 senior coach lines of business. Okay. If the world says retirement age is 65, most people are going to think about retiring at what age? 65. That's how easy it is to control someone's mindset, by the way. Okay, just like we posture for our new coaches, the world and Optavia can posture for us. And that posturing is 6,000 is okay. And so we just shoot for what's okay. That's how it happens. We got to start controlling and setting our own pace. So I'm never just trading time for dollars again. Other people can do it, not me. I'm going to make a huge impact. I help people change their entire lives. I'm the what? I'm the what? Here, you know who was the leader? Karen and Kim. This mindset shift was what? I'm the damn leader. You see that mindset? Back here, I was waiting for who? My mentors. Right here, you know what I said? I'm the dang leader. You see it? Can you feel it? I'm telling you how to do it, man. Y'all getting me excited now. Everybody awake in this house. I know the first 30 minutes was like kind of dry, but I couldn't scream the way I wanted to because everybody was asleep, but they wake now. I'm telling you, that mindset was, I love them, but man, I'm the dang leader. You see it? You can feel it now, can't you? I'm telling you how it happens. I'm telling you how it happened. So let's talk about some soft skills. Best time to plant the seeds from coaching is on the health assessment. Early, write this down. If I want a lot of coaches, early and often. If I'm on a health assessment with Terry and she's talking to me, I'm gonna say, hey, I'm gonna help you with your health goals. We're gonna lose this weight. But Terry, don't be surprised in the next 7 days if you start coaching with me. You see it? That's a soft skill. What I just do, I just planted a seed. And anytime we plant seeds and we water it and we got the right fertilizer and the right sunlight, what's going to happen to that seed? You, my friend, are the sunlight. You're the rain. You're the watering. You're the fertilizer. That's you. Your words in the beginning was the what? Word. Your word is the seed that's going to be embedded into these people. And as you see them, if you see, it will be. So get really good at planting these words, which we call the seed, inside of people, and then water that mug, fertilize it, throw sunlight all over it. And I promise you, it will grow early and often. So some soft skills. Most people are going to pay it forward and coach at some point, right? If I'm talking to a client, this is what I would say. These are soft skills. We have hard skills. Juanita just took you through a whole bunch of hard skills, okay? Really smart people are good with hard skills. I'm just telling you the truth. People like me who are not that bright usually are good with soft skills. Okay, that's why this business is really hard for academics because they need checklists. Tell me to do this and this and this and this and this and this. What they don't have is people skills a lot of times, and that's where the soft skills come in. Okay, I'm just telling you, this business is made up of a lot of hard skills, but where you're going to find a lot of success is in these soft skills. You have to learn how to move people. So if I'm talking to Sylvia and I'm on a health assessment, I'm saying, Sylvia, we're going to crush it. Just know that most people pay it forward and start coaching at some time. You're probably going to be the same. That's a soft skill. Okay, that's a soft skill. Hey, Kyra, you're going to make a great coach. Dang, the way you posted in that group, you're going to be a better coach than me. That's a soft skill. We have to get really good at doing this with a lot of people. You know, I see Terry. Every time I see Terry, I'm probably going to say, hey, Terry, what's up, coach? Terry, I'm going to give you a nickname. I'm going to call you Coach Terry. Yeah, but Jamil, I'm not going to coach. I know you say that, but you probably will be in the next 2 weeks. That's a soft skill. You see what I'm doing here? I'm moving her inch by inch with my words. Hey, you know what? I just put a side to side together for you. I'm not going to be surprised if you start coaching this soft skill. So let's talk about sponsoring a little bit. Sponsoring coaches, that big shift came in. Wow, I got this big list of potential clients. Why don't I have the same sort of list for potential coaches? Remember, I told you, what are you focused on? What your energy goes to is what's going to grow. So the mindset shift was, wow, I need a freaking huge list of potential coaches. And this list needs to, let me just say this again, needs to, should we say it again? Needs to, should I say it in the acapella? Needs to be bigger. See, I can do all that the first 30 minutes. I know you guys were bored as heck. Like, man, I shouldn't even be on this call. But I'm telling you, the potential coach list needs to be bigger than what? My potential client list. Why? Because I make a way bigger impact with coaches. So we need to, next to each name, we need to lay out what we really like about them, why we think they would be a great coach, what we believe Optavia would bring into their lives. I'm telling you what to do. I'm giving you all the answers right here. I'm straight up telling you. And we need to see we need to find out what's missing in their life. Okay. Now, once I have these people and I reach out to them, I say, Kyra, I think you'd be amazing at this. You'd be really great at what I do. Heck, you'd probably be better than me. We should take a look at it. Would you be open to exploring it? The minute she says yes, write this down. The minute someone says yes, they would be open to exploring what coaching looks like. What they are telling you is something is insufficient in my life. Something in my life is missing, and I'm hoping that you can show me how to fill that void. If they have a window that's open and they say, yeah, I'm open to exploring coaching, what they're saying is there's something that's missing. It's likely fulfillment. It's probably time freedom. It's definitely finances. You guys got to start understanding that 7 out of 8 people that you talk to every day are suffering financially. They just not telling you. Okay, they're not just going to put up, what do you call those things? Those flares? Be shooting off flares like, hey, my finances kind of suck right now. But the minute they say, yeah, I'm open to exploring it, they're saying, yeah, there's something that's missing. Most of the times it's just purpose. Okay, so we got to figure out what those things are. So I plus Q equals A is really how did I, if you saw me go from 1 senior coach line of business to 3 to 8 to 13. From 1 to 13 in 3 months is crazy. You guys would agree, right? From 1 to 13 senior coach lines of business, we know that for every 3 coaches, we get 1 senior coach, yes? So if I had 13 senior coaches, what's 13 times 3? What's 13 times 3? Can't even count that high. You guys are smarter than me. So whatever 13 times 3 is, means that's about the amount of coaches that were infused into my own personal business in 2.5 months, right? You guys see that, right? So how did that happen? I got a really long list of names, 300 names, okay? And next to every single name I put down, what did I like about these people? What did I think they were good with? Give me a second, Cruz. How did I think Optavia would be a blessing for them? How did I think that they would be a blessing for Optavia? Okay, that's it. So we got a potential coach list, 300 or more people. Who are these people and why did we have their names down? This girl, Kelsey, well, she's on week 1. She's loving it. She has time and flexibility in her schedule. She needs the money. She's a great people person who connects well with people authentically. She has a lot of nursing moms friends. All we need to do then is just go approach her. Just go see if she's open to even going out on a date. A lot of us are worried about the marriage part. What do I do with them once they become coaches? Why don't we start dating a lot of people? You want to get good with coaches, have a lot of them. So then we just approach her. Tell her why she's awesome and why we think she would be awesome. And then at the end, you would be amazing. Would you be open to exploring a little bit more? Now, the minute she comes back and say, yeah, I'd be open to checking it out, what she's telling me is, Jamil, there is something that's missing in my life. And on this call, I'm really hoping you identify it and you explain to me how coaching can fill this void. The end. So when I get on this call, I already know that there's a void in this woman's life. My job is to find out what it is. Does this make sense? If we're on this call, you guys, there is a void. My job on this call is to figure out what the heck is that void? How do I figure it out? I ask a lot of questions, just like a health assessment. And if I don't feel like I really understand, I got to ask some more questions. Say, well, tell me more about that. Well, how come you haven't gotten a raise in the last 10 years? How do you feel about that? What if you go another 10 years and never get another raise? Do you have the passion and the purpose that you want? Do you have the fulfillment? Oh, you don't? Well, why not? What would great fulfillment actually look like? Yes, sir. How can I help you?
Look at what I made out of the clay.
Okay, give me 5 minutes and I'll look at it, okay? Okay, so really fast, I don't even know if I want to get into it. I'm gonna breeze through this. So there's 3 buckets of people that we are going to run into out there, okay? So people, I don't really know these people. These are gonna be the people on our list, right? Like, I don't really know these people. Like, I don't really know that dude. We're acquaintances. We're not super tight, but we're cool. And people who I'm really close with. Those are 3 people, right? I don't really know you. We're acquaintances. You the homie. Those are 3 people, okay? Our job is to get people to become the homies. Get into bucket 3. Once we get into bucket 3, I mean, we can approach here at bucket 2, but bucket 3 is a really easy approach, okay? Bucket 1, don't want to approach here. Why? No relationship. We need to build relationships, okay? So how do I move people that I don't really know to bucket 2? Well, be interested in them. Start asking them a lot of questions about themselves. Be more interested than you are interesting, okay? How do you, thank you, baby. How do you, what acronym? Okay. Baby, will you let me just do this dang training? So we utilize FORD, family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. These are all the things that you guys know. You guys know all this stuff. You've been through this as you mature through executive director. But basically, we got to start building relationships with them. If I don't really know them, I need to build relationships with them. This is why we start conversations every day. This is why we invite out to coffee. This is why we open up our homes and say, hey, why don't you bring the family over? This is like literally all me and Amanda do for new people that we don't know. We move into a community, we meet a whole bunch of new people, we start opening up our doors and we go hang with them and we get to know them. Okay, this is how you start moving to bucket 2. So how would I build this relationship? Well, I could tell you a story about Sherilyn, but we don't have time. So how do I move people that are in acquaintances to bucket 3? Very similar steps, but we pick up the phone, we call them, we invest time in them. Okay, we find ways to provide value. We meet up in person or on Zoom. We're intentional. That's why these names on these pieces of paper, these are intentional names. Okay, we create community, we integrate, we plant seeds, we complement a lot. That's one of the skills that we learned in the first 6 weeks, right? As soon as you meet someone, do what? Find something right away that you like about them, and then tell them. Like, oh, Terry, I love your hairstyle today. Immediately, they're like, oh my gosh, I want to hang around that person more. They don't even know why. Okay, so if we're close family or friends, what do? Well, this is easy. I know these people. They know me. They get me. I get them. Pick up the phone and freaking call them. Don't be weird. Approach them. Say, you be an amazing coach. Let's check it out. Speak from the heart. And again, speaking from the heart is a soft skill. And that's why this trips people up, because most people, especially academics, are really good with what? Hard skills. Being authentic, speaking from the heart is a soft skill. That's why we have to learn people skills a lot more, right? And offer the opportunity to explore. So how did I start sponsoring all those coaches and go from 1 senior coach line of business to 3 to 8 to 13 to 2.5 months? Is I approach, right? Just listen to this. I approach, what does it mean to approach? It means to do all the things you just heard me do, and then say, would you be open to exploring it? Watch this. Why did I move like that? Because I approach, okay, stop this. I approach, let me just do this real fast, because I got to look at you guys when I say this. I approach 10 people a day. I approach 10 people a day. Okay. Now, 10 people a day is approaching 70 people per week. This was before I took Saturdays and Sundays off. See, some of you guys still be taking too many days off. Yeah, I didn't start taking Saturdays off till we were probably integrated presidential. But you don't have to be me. Again, don't be me, be you. I'm just telling you how I did it. Now, if I approach 70 people a week and I said, would you be open to exploring it? How many people do you think would say I'd be open to exploring it? Put in the chat. How many, roughly? See 7, I see 10, I see 5. Man, 5 out of 70 would be rough. 3 I probably suck. 3 hours really bad. 3 hours really bad. Let's say 10. Can we say 10? 10 out of 70? We know that like 3 of these people are just going to ghost us though, right? They're not getting on. So let's just say 6. Let's say we actually got on the phone with 6 people. Okay. And let's say, remember, I'm early at this, so my skill sets aren't very good, right? And this was before our mentors freaking did these calls for us. Now you guys got your mentors that will do these Coach Explore calls for you, right? Which I suggest you utilize until the skills are transferred. But let's just say 6 people got on the phone and my skills suck. My mindset is I'm going, so I got that. My actions were high, but let's just say 6 people got on the phone. How many out of the 6 do you think would actually start coaching? How many out of the 6 do you think would start coaching? Let's say 1. Okay, because remember, I'm very new at this, which means I probably suck, right? And it's okay to suck. because we're not going to suck forever. See, the problem is people who suck, and that's on the bottom, and stay sucky and on the bottom forever. That's the problem. What we should be doing in life and in business is what? We suck. We don't know how to walk. We fall down a lot, but we don't stay on the freaking ground, do we? A lot of people in this world stay on the ground, but not us. Okay? But not us. Now, it's okay to suck at the beginning, but we're not going to suck forever. So let's just say one person out of the 6 that we talked to bought a freaking coach kit. So that means for 70 approaches, I get 1 coach. Some of you guys are like, how come no coaches freaking join me? You approach literally maybe 3 people a week. Maybe. And some of you guys think that's a lot. You see the difference? You see the difference? Now, I approached 70 in 1 week, which means that's 140 in 2 weeks, which means over the month, that's 280 people. And for 280 in this scenario, we're saying that yields me 4 coaches a month. I said you only need 2 or 3, but I was doing 12. You see it? The mindset is, I'm going, but where's your focus? Is your focus on sponsoring? Because if it's not, this is going to be a rough go for you if you want to hit FIBC or above. If you want to stay executive director, you don't have to focus on sponsoring. But that would be like crawling through this business for the rest of your life. Does this make sense? Can I go on for just like a few more minutes? I'm trying to, I think we're getting it though, right? Isn't this cool stuff? It's cool stuff, right? We see we got to build like a, what's that word? Cassandro? I mean, you guys got some singers up in here? Opera? Cassandro? Amanda, what's that word? Where you start singing and it starts slow, then it builds up? Cassandro? Crescendo? You know, I can't talk, man.
Crescendo.
Crescendo? Amanda make fun of me because I don't know how to spell and say common words. I don't know how to pronounce words. That's why I be telling people though, you don't have to be that smart, man, to be really successful. That's why I freaking love living. Okay. So we build our front line by 1,200 every month. So if I finished last month at 4,800, where do I need to be this month in my front line? Put it in the chat. If I finished last month at 4,800 in front line, where do I need to be this month? $6,000. Remember, by 1,200. Okay. So if I'm at 4,800 last month, I need to build it by at least 1,200. If I'm at 6,000 last month, where do I need to be this month? 72. If I was at 72 last month, where do I need to be this month? 84. Now, why do I need to scale my client base up like that? Yes, Rob. Yes. I need the point because the points really matter now that I'm past executive director, but I need the people. But I don't need any one person. Like I had this dude, this football player. They kill me sometimes, Shannon. We got the biggest egos. I had this dude I played college football with named Chuck. Jesus Christ. He was a really good player though, All-American. But he told me, he was like, man, you need me on your team. And I was like, Chuck, I love you, but I don't need you. You're one dude out of a population of a few million. You realize this, right? But that's the mindset. I don't freaking need you. Now, I want you here if you want to be here, but I don't need you. I love you, but for me to go do what I'm going to go do, I don't need you. You're just one out of a few million in this country alone. And please don't let us open up Mexico. You know your boy got my Espanol. I've been practicing. Woo! Habla inglés up in here. Priscilla, don't trip. So anyway, so we build our front line because we need more coaches, because I know for every 5 clients I have, there's at least what? 1 coach that's in there. Yes. So if I build up my volume by 1,200 every month, I know I'm getting at least 5 more clients, which should yield me at least what? 1 more coach. So this is what we want to do. So I'm just telling you, it all starts from how many people are you approaching? And these people don't have to be your current clients. Okay, so that should give you a list of easily 300-400 people, but you got to be focused on it. And if you suck, it's okay to suck. A lot of people don't even want to try it because they don't want to suck at it. It's okay to suck. Okay. So every name on this list needs to have multiple tactics. What are our tactics that help someone become a coach? You guys know this already, right? We drip early, we layer early, we plant seeds early. 3-way call, celebration call, tip calls, right? We have them do their celebration posts, their way day posts, all these names for the same stuff. Amazing. Same exact stuff for 11 years, but people want to change all these names. Doesn't matter. We have community gatherings, help and hope nights, right? We just simply approach. I just showed you guys that I approach 10 people a day, 10 people per day. What if my house flooded? Do I skip approaching the 10 people a day? What if Amanda wanted to leave me? What she did at this point in time in my life? Do I skip approaching 10 people a day? What if my son got really sick? What he did this point in time in my life? Do I skip approaching 10 people a day? What if I got freaking shingles? Do I skip approaching 10 people a day? What if it rained for 40 days and 40 nights? Do I skip approaching 10 people a day? The answer is no. Why? Because I'm going. Because I'm going. Other people can skip. Other people can skip. I'm just saying, other people can skip, but not us. We let them lead. Other people can skip, but not us. I'm telling you, it is what? Point here. What is it? What is it? Mindset. That is what sets people apart. I'm telling you. And in June, we're going to see a lot of people separate themselves. That's just kind of how it is. Okay, I got to breathe through this. I got to get up to Nelly. Okay, so anyways, I'm showing you these tactics because you're going to have to, next to every name, you have to have 3 or 4 different tactics. Okay, and you might have to do these tactics over and over again. So who I'm about to show you is the Bersertles, and I had to use about 8 different tactics with them, but each of those 8, I may have had to do 5 to 10 times. So one of those tactics was I got Rosie on a celebration call. I got her to allow me to use her posts. I invited her to literally everything. Okay. I had her speak on some client calls. I freaking did everything that I could, but I had to do it a lot. So in order to bring her on as a coach, I probably had to do like in total 30 to 40 different things over the course of maybe like 3 months. And then when she started coaching, she went executive director in 1 month. And if you guys know Shara and Mark Wiley, they're in the Bizerto organization. So what I'm saying is it's going to take a lot. It's not like you do 2 or 3 things with these folks and then it just happens. No. With Rosie, I had to say, hey, what are you doing next Saturday? I'm not doing anything. Oh, you should come over. I'm having a barbecue and a pool party. We'll have a lot of clients and some coaches there. She's an RN. So, hey, what are you doing next week? I'm doing a call and I'm going to feature some RNs. Did I have a call set up? No. But if she said she wasn't busy, I bet you I was going to set up a call. You see what I'm saying? Hey, Rosie, let's get on a celebration call. I want to introduce you to my coach, Karen. She's amazing. She's helped me like revamp my whole entire life. I want her to give you some tips. You just got to meet her. So she gets on. Right? Karen, of course, says that she should be a coach. Rosie says, I knew that's why you guys got me on this call. I said, obviously, I've been trying everything for 2 months. That's a soft skill, by the way. I didn't get all weird, right? And you say, oh my gosh, Rosie thinks I'm trying to, no. I said, Rosie, of course, that's why I got you on this call. One of the things that I did was I said, Rosie, get some of your girlfriends together. I'll come up and give you a personal training session. Was I a freaking personal trainer? No, but I was that day. I drove all the way up to Glendora, California from Long Beach. That's not close. That's not close at all. How she finally came is I said, hey, me and my wife are going to come over. I want you to meet Amanda. And holy cow, Amanda went over that they hit it off. Rosie became a coach. Isn't that true, Amanda? Tell them, because I think they think that stuff just happens like you do one thing and, oh my gosh, they're a coach. No, it is a commitment. It's a freaking commitment, but you got to have a lot of different tactics. You see what I'm saying? You have to be really, really intentional. So that's enough for today. I hope that brought you value, but really, that's how you do it. Your focus, you guys. In this month of June, most people are going to lose their focus. And I'm telling you, next year is going to look the same for them. And so is 2025, and so is 2026, and so is 2027, and so is 2028. And they're going to look up and it's going to be 2033. And they're going to say, how the hell have you had that much success in only 10 years? That's what they say to me now. They say, what? How did you do that in 10 years? It's not rocket science. Let them take days off, but not us. This is where you separate yourself. I'm telling you how it works. Is this helpful? Sorry, the first half an hour, it was boring, but I couldn't really be myself. It was weird. I was like, man, I wouldn't even want to be on this call if I was them. So hopefully it picked up as life picked up in this house. But that's where our focus is at. June, it's going to be a battle of focus and structure. And so it's July. And so whenever there's time for a battle, you think soldiers just go into battle without being prepared? No. So you got to be prepared for what June is bringing. And you're going to have to fight through it and not be like most people are. And the if is a determining factor. If you actually really want to reach this thing called FIBC or above. If you don't want to, none of this stuff matters. Who cares? But if you do, I'm explaining how to do it. Does this make sense? Hopefully it brought you value. Let's get to work, really work with your team to set up game plans for this cruise. And let's sponsor a ton of people and from now until next Saturday when I see you again. Deal? All righty.